you felt the impact of the government in agriculture? Do you believe the government is doing enough when it comes to agriculture? Today we'll be looking at the role of government in agribusiness. My name is Moses Ojo and I'm welcoming you to Agribusiness in 5, where we'll be looking at the role of government in agribusiness. Before we go further, let me first wish Nigerians a happy Independence Day. 64 years, right? People might say, why are we not looking at the role of government in agriculture? But then again, I want to emphasize the business in agriculture. Agriculture is the rearing of animals, cultivation of land, to produce food and also produce raw materials for industries, right? Yeah. But when we look at the business aspect of it, we're looking at the business in farming, the business in logistics, the business in input supply, the business in trading, the business in processing and all of that. When you look at it from a business perspective, then you're able to see the potential of the sector and how it relates to Nigeria's prosperity, Nigeria's stability, and Nigeria's security. A nation that can feed itself is in itself secure. A nation that can feed itself is in itself stable. A nation that can feed itself is in itself prosperous. It has to be within first and then without. I believe the major challenge we have as a nation is that we have been enormously blessed. It shouldn't be a problem, right? We have crude oil in abundance, we have minerals all over the country, north, south, east and west. We have arable land, you just need to throw something and then it begins to grow. And we have the power of over 220 million people. Massive potential. Men throw things and it grows. How do we then unlock the agribusiness potential of Nigeria? By promoting collaboration among the various stakeholders in the value chain. And the government is critical to doing this. So what does the government need to do? I believe the key word here is system. Because without the right system, money can be budgeted for production and we achieve nothing because it did not get to the right people. Researches can be funded without any outcomes, or there are beautiful outcomes without any implementation, and so on and so forth. Agriculture needs to be treated as business. If the government is investing, for example, ₦1 billion, there has to be return on that investment. As a matter of fact, the system should be funded to maximize its potential, and then the sector can then fund the government. Agriculture needs to be treated as business. So Nigeria as a nation stands to gain more if it's able to maximize the power and the potential within it. Let's say, for instance, you want to go the way of taxation as the government. The way agriculture is being run now, as a government, there's little to gain because 10% of nothing is nothing. Even 100% of nothing is nothing. So let's say, for instance, I gave you 10 naira and I requested that you give me 100 naira. It might be easy, right? But if I told you that I'll give you 1 naira and make the environment conducive enough for you to make 9 naira, there might be a bit of skepticism, especially looking at the way Nigeria and its citizenry have lost trust in each other over the years, right? There is a process to abundance and success, and very rarely does the latter deliver, right? Especially in Africa. And that's one of the reasons why, as a country, we have been unable to maximize the potential of the agricultural sector. If it were a credit economy, it's easy to have access to funds, but in a space such as Nigeria, then it's very important that government is the one who actually funds and drives this process so that everybody can then pick up from there. So what government needs to do is to ensure that there's a system of funds distribution, there's a system of input distribution, there's a system of disseminating information, and there's also a system via which even the machinery that they decide to give or decide to implement is able to reach those it is meant to reach. What about the system of recovery of funds that was invested in the first place? I'm not speaking of the ROI now. Once you do not get the investment system right, you cannot get the recovery system right. The Anchor Borrowers scheme is an example. Many believe that participants in the value chain will be able to drive the change that is needed. But the truth remains that government is the only one who can actually drive the change that is needed and also standardize and improve the system. So put your money where your mouth is kind of thing. Business is always in a problem. Business is in a problem. Next week, we are going to delve more into this. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next week.